Hello, this is Geoff with In-Depth Studies. Today we're looking at Romans chapter 9, verses 10 through 13. Of course, this is in the context of the Apostle Paul's answering the question, how do you become the Israel of God? And the answer is God has to choose you. And so that's the section we're in. So we're going to look at, in these verses 10 through 13, what is the basis of God's choice to be saved? So verse 10 says, not only that, but Rebekah's children were conceived at the same time by our father Isaac. Yet before the twins were born or had done anything, good or bad, in order that God's purpose and election might stand, not by works, but by him who calls, she was told the older will serve the younger. Just as it is written, Jacob I loved, but Esau I hated. Now, what is Paul saying? He's saying that the basis of God's choice of who is going to become a believer, that is a spiritual Israelite, has nothing to do with what we do, good or bad. Now, this sometimes causes a bit of a problem, because then we can think that somehow God is making some arbitrary choice in heaven, and that's not true. All he's saying is his choice is not based on what we would do, good or bad. And that's quite clear. So God makes a sovereign choice of who is going to believe the gospel message of Jesus and the cross. Now, he does say at the very end in verse 13, just as it is written, Jacob I loved, but Esau I hated. Now, if you go back to Malachi chapter 1, verses 2 and 3, where it talks about Jacob I loved, Esau I hated, in all fairness, that is not about salvation. That is about the destiny of the descendants of Jacob and the destiny of the descendants of Esau. But the Apostle Paul is using that to describe the nature of God's choice for salvation in Romans 9. God is the one who chooses, and that he wants us to know. So if this has been helpful, you might want to check out some more Geoff's thoughts on youtube.com. They're right there, and you can subscribe to them. But thank you very much. Bye-bye.